G'day folks. Yeah, it's a nice little Monday afternoon. Time for a little bit of an update. I've been fairly busy this weekend. Luckily the projected rain didn't show up, so I was able to get a full weekend of outdoor work in, which was really good. The yard's nice and clear. Almost all of the plastic rubbish from behind the shed's on the trailer. That can go to the tip this weekend. I've only got until the 30th until the last tip voucher expires, so that'll be good timing. Got rid of 5 old tyres that were out the back, the ones from hydrostatic popping test. There's still some more to go, but that didn't cost much. Yeah, it's just starting to look better and better outside. I'll keep on with that this weekend if it's not raining. I have a feeling it might be, but I don't know. We'll give it a shot. Other than that, I've got to clean up inside the workshop because we've decided to really get rid of the mini mill at work. It's only one of those little Hafco come Harbour Freight or generic mill drill. Well, yeah, sort of a mill drill. It's you don't have a proper vertical axis on the spindle or the table, but you've still got a X and Y table on it. So yeah, it'll work quite well for what I do here. It just needs a lot of TLC. Strip it down, clean it, unblock all the oil injection points, and just give it a really good clean up. And it'll serve well for this workshop. It's reasonably large, so I'm going to have to make up a compact stand for it and have coolant piped back into tank rather than just spilling over the table onto the the current stand, which is staying at work. But it does come with collet set and clamp set and all that sort of stuff. I showed it in a video yonks ago when we were originally going to get rid of it, but then they decided to keep it for a bit, and I think we've used it 2 or 3 times since. So now it's a unanimous decision just to get rid of the damn thing. It's got a good DRO on it, so I don't mind paying a couple of $100 for it. Likewise with the tooling, it's got an Imperial 1/2-inch clamp set and like finger clamps, T-nuts, dome nuts for the clamps, all the right bits, parallels, other things, collet chuck and collet set, Jacob's ball bearing chuck. There's a threaded arbor for hole saws. It's pretty good. Might even be a little boring attachment for it, I'm not too sure. So yeah, I can easily buy tooling for them anyway. It's a Morse taper number 3, I think, spindle. Not so ideal, not like a RT or a oh, what's the other one? There's a few different spindle types, but it's not a proper mill spindle. It's just a drill press Morse taper spindle. So that's good. Anyway, also got to apply for a trading account with BOC gases. I bought myself a TIG welder. It's only a $250 cheapie from BOC, but it's a good starting point. Any TIG's better than no TIG, and it comes with the regulator and lines and everything like that. I'm going to do a few little mods to it, particularly a gas shut-off solenoid at the bottle on the low pressure side, just to minimise the chance of leaving the bottle on when overnight, that sort of thing. I mean, the high side would still be on, but at least it minimises the chance of leaving, say, the torch on. A lot of the time the torch is the only thing that controls gas flow, and if you accidentally leave that on, you drain the bottle out, and that's an expensive little mistake. It's about $170 to get a fill, and the cylinders aren't all that big either. They're a E2 series cylinder, which is about half the size of the full height 6-foot ones, or 5.5 foot high cylinders. 5 foot, I think about 5.5 foot tall. The E2 series is half that size, but still manageable, portable, lasts for ages for hobby use. Yeah, so we'll have a look at that when that comes in. I should be able to do a few little basics videos on TIG welding. I want to clear up a decent welding area. I'm thinking this area here might be good because I can move that speaker and just get rid of the shelf with all those old bearing housings on it, and have the bottle in the corner there, and also have power from a power supply for the solenoid. I'll have a 24 volt solenoid or something that comes on when the welder comes on and shuts off when the welder's turned off, so that'll be a little bit more conservative. That'll remotely mount the bottle under a bench or in a corner somewhere out of the way, and just have a rigid line going to a point where I can plug in with a quick press-in fitting. Obviously different to air fitting, but the Kempe TIG at work has a little one you pull the collar back on. It's like a miniature of these ones here, and they work quite well. So we'll come up with something, make it a little more custom. Either way, it'll give me good incentive to fix the speed controller on the MiG that I've got, or rebuild it, or replace it altogether. You know what it's like. Yeah, so that's pretty good news. I got that to troubleshoot from a friend at work, one of our salespersons. It's a changeover from water tank to mains tank for just running your toilet and that sort of thing. You can have save a lot of your mains water and your water bill by using tank water, and this thing runs a pump automatically when you decide to change over, or it decides to change over when the tank water level's high enough. So I'm wondering, either is the float switch in his tank faulty, or is this thing faulty? So I'll figure out how to hook it up and just use a manual toggle switch to simulate the float switch and see if it'll click over to tank by itself, or whether one of the relays is faulty. Inside's just a little ABB plastic enclosure on the other side. There's really nothing to it. That's all it is. It's just an ABB box with a 1/4 inch mono jack on it for a sensor, and there's also a 2-pin fitting plug there, so I'm not 100% sure what he said it was for. I might have to look that up, because if there's a thermistor, or no, there wouldn't be a thermistor, it'd just be flow and probably water volume tank level sensors in it. So it might not even be in this box. It might be a problem with this tank sensor. They usually rot out and die, or the pins on them get corroded and fall off. Yeah, it's always fun when you're playing around with that sort of stuff. I had a bit of fun with the compressed air the other night. Just mains, it was just straight off shop air compressor, 90 to 100 psi, and just plinking some tiles and things. It was a bit problematic because it's so low, but still, that's about as far as I went. It was just a piece of acetal, 5.5mm hole drilled down the centre, or 6mm hole. Works pretty well. Old roll pins, dowel pins, that sort of thing. Not very fast, not very... The best thing is it's quiet. It only clocks about 90 feet per second over the chronograph, so it's not exactly blisteringly fast, but it's enough to break thin little cheapo import tiles. So I'll set up and do a video of that one day, and that's just pushed on there. It's a tight press fit. Lead's the best stuff. Cast, hard cold form, or just cut off bits of lead rod. If you can get 5mm or 6mm lead rod or filler, that works well. You can guillotine it, or make up a little die and just sort of tap it in there with a hammer and a dowel and a punch, and just cold form whatever bullet shape you want. Yeah, high pressure works really well. High pressure is a lot of fun, but it's very noisy, and you need a good sturdy backstop, because any over travel puts dents in doors and other things, and ricochets can probably take out fluorescent lights. Touch wood, I haven't done it yet, but yeah, you can sort of give the front of a cardboard box a bit of abuse. None of them went through the second layer, but still, I think that one did. That was a an 8mm bolt that went through both sides and slammed into the door. Whoops. But yeah, chipped the top edge of the plasma panel and knocked a few things around. Hit the panel a few times. Didn't crack it. Oh, no, that's a bit of lead solder. There is one crack in here somewhere where I hit it. Is it there? It's tiny, it's only about that long. They're surprisingly tough. I hauled a 50-inch plasma home in the back of the little RAV4 Cabrio today as well, which was fun. You can fit a 50-inch Samsung in the back of a RAV4, or at least a short wheelbase anyway. So I've got to get Blue on the road next. Looks like he wants to come in here where it's warm and dry. But no, you can't, you won't fit. And stay out there in the wet. Anyway, yeah, bit of fun. Keep it safe, keep it legal. Don't go building proper air rifles like you can see people building in freer countries like the United States, where they don't really give a shit about non-firearms. You wouldn't think a compressed air rifle or sniper rifle would be classed as a firearm because it doesn't use fire, but technically they are. And I suppose if you can punch a hole clean through a computer case with compressed air, that sort of constitutes something rather dangerous in the wrong hands. But I don't think anyone goes to the trouble of building something like that if they want to be an idiot or a criminal. You spend hours and hours and hours machining stuff up on a lathe. The last thing you want to do is let the cops confiscate it for being stupid, or better yet, throw you in jail. Hell, I've seen some really nice, really nice air-powered pistols and sniper rifles that are all homemade on YouTube, and yeah, you can't really make any of them. I've spoken to a few local cops and they don't care as long as you do it right, or basically do it right by your neighbours. Don't go putting lemons and bloody pellets through their windows and things like some dickheads did and brought about the bans. That's all it was based on. It was just a knee-jerk reaction to some kids being stupid and doing drive-by lemoning or lobbing them up so high they came down on the local highway and caused hazards. That's just stupid. And that's what happens in Australia. Any excuse for the legislators to come up with some other ban. And it's always based on people's stupidity. So, yeah, play it safe. Don't do anything stupid. And, yeah, the coppers generally leave you alone. But, yeah. Oh well, enough of that. I want to fill out these forms, have a look at this thing here. The gas all up. I'm going to pay I think it's about $14.75 a month on gas bottle rental. It works out a bit cheaper that way, and it's about the same price as a month of World of Warcraft subscription. Actually, it's cheaper. It's cheaper to rent a bottle of gas than it is to play WoW, so I'm going to find a good friend and give my WoW account away, and that'll be that. I'll pay rent on the gas bottle instead, and we can do some TIG welding. Much more beneficial. I should have done it years ago. Oh well, it's a nice long ramble for you. I think I pretty much covered everything. The 50-inch plasma's sitting out in the carport because it's got a light sprinkling of rain. It was an insurance takeout, and they haven't even tested it at the shop, so I don't even know what's wrong with it, whether there's even anything wrong with it. They were just going to hoik it into the dumpster, so I figured, nope, I'll take it, even if it takes me half an hour to fit it into the car, which it didn't, thankfully. Yeah, the sooner I get blue on the road, the better. And then I'll be able to carry more plasmas. Not that there's much point in keeping them these days. It's still fun. You get to nuke them afterwards if they're no good. Oh well, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. There's plenty more coming up.